Hi there, everybody. My name is Khalid. Some of you might have coached with me, some of you might have watched my videos or listened to one of my talks. I'm an NLP transformational coach and I'm a mindset specialist. So I'm sitting in my lounge in Johannesburg, South Africa, and just feeling grateful, feeling blessed, waiting for a client. And I thought, while I'm waiting, I'm going to share maybe a little bit of inspiration with you that might impact you, might make you think, or just might keep you busy for a little bit while you watch this video. Whichever that may be, doesn't matter. So, one of the things I want to speak to you about today is being a transformative coach. I've always found that it's not really about where we go to, it's about how we go there. And I've started focusing on the journey of transformation, not on getting anywhere, but on really understanding what this transformation means. And it brings me down to one little core, and that is most of us get stuck in our lives simply because we misunderstand culturally how the mind works. We all like these little sticks on this flowing river of life. And every now and then we get stuck behind some leaves. We don't need therapy. We don't need counseling. We simply need a nudge. And as a transformative coach, I share insightful experiences with you, direct experiences of both minds and the clients I've coached, the lessons I've learned. And these experiences give us the nudge, give us the deeper understanding of where we got to go to. NLP coaching lands very differently to therapy, to counseling, to psychology. It is just a grounding and a deeper understanding of life. So, my aspect of coaching, my direction of coaching is not making you do anything. I don't have a magic wand, but we all have our own magic wand that works for us. And we kind of activate that magic wand. My magic wand can never work for you, and your magic wand could never work for me. But what we do is we kind of look in a direction and we follow that course and we understand why the universe has pushed us in that direction and what the universe has unfolded, and that life is perpetually happening through us, and we are perpetually vibrating all our outcomes in our lives, all our incidences in our life, all our thousands of miracles that take place each and every moment. Life is filled with opportunity each and every day, each and every moment. Life gives you a little window of opportunity. Your destiny is ultimately defined by how you respond to these windows of opportunity. Sorry, I've got a little bit of a flu, and I'm in Johannesburg, South Africa, and the weather changed. I've just come back from the UK, and I've been coaching in Dubai, and it's been three extreme weather conditions. Dubai is fairly hot; it's desert heat. For those of you who've been there and understand it, and then there's the UK, which is wet and miserable and cold, although it had a lot of character. And then we have South Africa, which is amazingly in the middle of the two in weather. But yeah, it's just a climate change that kind of messes the body around, and maybe just a bit of rest and a bit of jet lag. And again, talking and having all said all of that, it's choices. Life is about choices. Our biggest given gift from God is our power of choice. Just last night, we have a wedding in the family. It's a big, fat Indian wedding, and we have what we call a Mendi party. It's when we put henna and we have music, and it's a very festival occasion, which is happening tomorrow evening, Friday. And last night we were practicing for this dancing and music and fun and laughter. And we only finished up at 4 in the morning. And this morning I had a client coming in at 10, so I woke up at 9 and looked in the mirror. And yes, I had a choice. My choice could be I could choose to be tired because I only slept a few hours. But then I look forward to meeting my client. She's a 13-year-old kid. She's gorgeous, she's beautiful, and we're on an amazing journey. And I was excited. I look forward to it. And I chose to look forward to my day. I chose to look forward to the moments of my day. I chose to look forward to the opportunity. And I chose to look forward having given the ability to serve, to create purpose, to empower, to create positive impact. And one thing came to my mind was that gratitude, being blessed, and compassion. And it is this compassion, this gratitude that kind of keeps the whole world in check and balance. Everything in the world is equally balanced simply by a simple thing. That's compassion. So coming back to our journey of life, you know, it was Ludwig Wittgenstein who said, "A man will be imprisoned in a room with a door that is unlocked and opens inwards, only until it occurs to him to pull instead of push." And that is simply the cultural misunderstanding that we have. Our experiences and the sum total of all our experiences, all our lives, have created our conditioning and our belief system, and so much more, our limiting beliefs. So when we've done something within our core value drivers, and we have a few core value drivers, being spirituality, being relationships, being career and money, being health and wellness, being social integration, or being just self-development. And we have these core value drivers, and we attempt all of these cores at one time or another within our lives. And sometimes we kind of fail at the score. Excuse me again. And when we fail at the score, our conditioning and our belief system and the sum total of all our upbringing makes you want to redo it and make sure you get it right the second time. And sometimes we get it right, and that's good for that. But there are times in our lives when we don't get it right the second time. So we might even attempt it the third time. And we might still not get it right the third time because we might just be doing it incorrectly. We might just be driven by the wrong intention or the wrong outcome or the wrong desire. And what happens then is we go into what we call the guilt sin complex, and we then begin punishment. And that core then becomes a repressed core, a core that we don't like to explore, a core that we diminish and move away to the side of our lives. For example, we got divorced 2 or 3 times. What we then do is we go into punishment. And the punishment is the dialogue that begins on the inside that says, "You're not capable of having a successful relationship. You're not capable of attracting the right soulmate. You're not capable of being happy." And when you imbue all of these negative thoughts, they then create this repression, and we put that away within our neurology, within our subconscious mind. And we start focusing on the other cause and get really busy on the outside. Now, we will then attract a situation that's going to activate this repressed, little diminished core value or issue that we have hidden away and put away within us. And that is when we need to culturally change the way we look at those things. We need to identify that I would vibrate and the universe will respond and give me an experience of that emotion, of that repression. And I got to take the pain of that, because once I break through, because that has come to deal with an unreconciled issue within your life that you haven't dealt with. And the opportunity has come for you to break through, to take that roadblock and remove it and get it out of the system. And the moment we release it, whatever we need within that core, within that blockage, within that growth will pitch up. It will pitch up miraculously. What we give off vibrationally, we will receive experientially. It's a universal law. And where I found people have the biggest issue is when they go into the guilt sin complex, they simply do not give themselves permission to be happy with the decisions they've made, and even to be happy without having to logically have accomplished this mission or this experience or this core driver. Because there's no destination, it's only a journey. And the journey means you take one day at a time, live in this moment, live in the now. It's been said that if you're depressed, you're focusing on the past. If you're anxious, you're focusing on the future. Now is really what matters. We can't fear anything we're doing right now. We can fear something in the future. We can't be sad about something we're doing right now. We can be only sad about something we've done in the past, and we have a guilt and complex, or we have some kind of regret over not achieving it that to a success meter that has been created probably by your environment or your conditioning or the expectations of you. And that then becomes a repression. That becomes a low self-esteem. It becomes a flaw, becomes a blockage. I have a mantra that I live by that says, it is no measure of good health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. It's about you and it's your journey. Many can walk it with you, but no one can walk it for you. Excuse me. So, in a nutshell, we need to give ourselves permission to be happy with the choices we made in our lives and with the outcomes that have come, because they've all come to teach us something. We live in three dimensions. We live in the dimensions of thought, we live in the dimensions of emotion, and we live in the dimensions of feeling. It is when we imbue our thoughts to our emotion, we then create a feeling. This feeling then gives us an environmental experience outside of us, driven by the inside of us. Now, we have situations and we have events that happen outside of us perpetually. These events are merely events. They are neither good nor bad. They are neither positive or negative. They are simply events. It is only when we individually, introspectively give these events a meaning that an emotion and then pitches up. And it is when we give ourselves self-judgment about that emotion via that feeling that we create this experience, we create this feeling. So when we imbue thought with emotion, we create the feeling. That feeling then represents the external world to the internal world. And that is where we go wrong. We simply need to identify why these thoughts, imbuing with our emotions, are creating these feelings, what unreconciled issues we have within ourselves, and then give yourself permission to release self-judgment and release that feeling of negativity. Once you do that, you will create a whole new representation within your system, within your neurology, and reconcile those issues that have been kind of bogging you down and getting you stuck. And life will become fulfilled. Life will become abundant. We will line up with that law of attraction that is inexhaustible, that law of attraction which is congruent. We don't have to reinvent that law of attraction. We don't even have to define the law of attraction. We simply need to align with the law of attraction. And that universal congruency, that integration of the inner to the outer world will just create a mystical mindset of flow. And that flow will then create the life of fulfillment and abundance. And when I talk about flow, I speak about a very huge, impactful guru in my life who most of us know as Bruce Lee. And Bruce Lee has a caption where he says, "Empty your mind. Be water, my friend. Water is formless. Water is shapeless. Put water in the bottle, it becomes the bottle. Put water in the cup, it becomes the cup. Water doesn't drip, water doesn't crash. Be water, my friend. Flow." And that is my parting advice for inspiration today. Be water, my friend. Flow. I end this video with love and light. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you.